I work with people, mainly women, who have received a significant diagnosis. And the diagnosis can be life-limiting in terms of quality or quantity. And I also work with people who've been diagnosed with chronic diseases in childhood. And health, when we have an issue with our health, it creates huge fear for people. And because, I suppose, of my history, I was diagnosed in childhood with a chronic disease. And then I went on and became a nurse. I mean, there's no, my life path is exactly what has gotten me to where I am now. And this is why I work with people like this. And once I qualified as a nurse and I recognized what my strengths were as a nurse, I then went on and became a practice nurse. And because I was working in the community and, working one-on-one with people, and a lot of that is I suppose teaching people about the illness or teaching people about health and empowering people about what they can do for themselves. But an awful lot of that work was around the fear and the anxiety that it creates for people in their lives. And then I went on and I studied Chinese medicine because Western medicine simply doesn't have the solutions for everything. So yes, if I break my leg, I want to go to hospital. There's many things I want to go straight to the doctor. But there are a lot of areas that Chinese medicine can really support people so that you can avoid the hospital. I mean, in an ideal world, people would come for prevention, but it's not an ideal world. And the people that turn up on my doorstep are usually people who have had a diagnosis. Things like chronic fatigue syndrome, things like cancer, things like kidney disease, things like, just lots of different things, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis. These are the kinds of illnesses that impact people in the longer term. And the biggest issue for people is always the fear that's around that. So it's not just the fear that I work with, but it's a huge part of the job. And I spend time working with people in a partnership, I guess, so that at the end of our working together, that person can walk out confidently and not live with this constant fear and dread in their lives, because life is too short. I live my life to its absolute fullest. Even on the really crappy days, I am just so grateful that I have it. And for as long as I'm here, and I have significant health issues that you really don't need to know about, because it's not the actual health issue that's most important. It's actually about how we live with it and where we get our support from. So you are the kind of person